It's interesting. I hear this Tampa Bay, 17-0. And I'm like, folks, there's just, first of all, it's 17-game schedule. You may have a little load management. Bruce Arians may give some veterans occasional weeks off. I just laugh at the 17-0. You tell me you were on Patriot teams that people talked about that. Your thoughts on 17-0 in Tampa?
Yeah, look, I was on the last team that repeated, and it's hard. And after we won the first Super Bowl, we had no idea how hard it was going to be the next year, because dealing with adversity is one thing, dealing with success is another thing. Everybody plays up to you, and it's relentless. It's week in and week out. And this Bucs team, it's not like they cruised through the season last year.
Right.
They were 3-2 at one point. They were 7-5 before the bye. They got hot at the right time. And to think that they're going to come out the next year with all the expectations, with everybody studying them that much more intensely, and go 17-0, not even 16-0, go 17-0. It's no chance. There's no chance.
By the way, the Patriots, I did think, got a little break. Belichick faces 6 first-time coaches and 6 young quarterbacks. Bill's pretty good against quarterbacks who don't have 20 starts, and he's great against first-time coaches. So I thought, I think Patriots are going to be okay. What's your takeaway on that? The Mac Jones, Cam Newton thing.
Yeah, look, I like their early schedule, especially. They've got a second-year quarterback, a rookie quarterback, a new quarterback, and then they go to Tom Brady after that. The interesting thing for me, or the fascinating thing, is Bill's never ever in 26 years had a first-round quarterback. He's never had to deal with this decision-making process. And you're working with Cam, who the offense, from a passing game standpoint, wasn't very good last year. And if they struggle, there's going to be pressure on him to put Mac Jones in. And I know it's Bill and he's earned the benefit of the doubt, but pressure is pressure. And you can get that from ownership as well. This is the first time he's gone through it. And now you've also got radically different guys. Preparing Cam Newton is so radically different than preparing Mac Jones because of what they can do with their feet. So you've got to have two very distinct plans to do that. I'm really interested to see how Bill handles this.
By the way, I 3 different Aaron Rodgers friends, all 3 different Aaron buddies, have used the word fixable in the last week. Okay. And my takeaway is he's trapped. Where's he going to go? I mean, I don't know. This morning I feel 80-90% Aaron's back. Your thoughts?
I'm 100%. Just like I didn't think Russell Wilson was going anywhere, and I didn't think Deshaun Watson was going anywhere, Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere. Now, he may decide not to play, but that to me would be shocking as well, because it would cost him $50 million between the money he doesn't get and the money that he'd have to pay back. Fixable to me is a lot of money, a lot of new money and security, and it'll be fixed. And he may be a little bit disgruntled, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Not everybody's happy at work all the time. I'm rare.
Not everybody.
I'm Mr. Happy.
And look, if you're unhappy and suddenly they decide to give you another $120 million, you could be happier then.
All right, Mr. Cleveland, you're in Cleveland right now. And listening, opening up with Andy Reid in Kansas City and Mahomes is not exactly a welcome mat in week 1. But after that, I looked at the schedule, and this is a good football. I do think schedule, you can get good breaks and bad breaks. I'll give you a Browns break. They played Baltimore back-to-back, but the second one, they play Baltimore, get a bye, and play Baltimore. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, Baltimore faces Cleveland. No bye, they get Pittsburgh back to Cleveland. So I thought that's a little scheduling break, a little bit there for Cleveland. But I look at them and I think to myself, this is a 10, 11, 12-win team to me. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I love the first game of the season, especially after the disaster last year, the first game of the season. And things have changed so dramatically. Last year, no OTAs, no preseason games, first-year head coach open up with the Ravens. Now all that's changed, and they get to take their temperature against Kansas City in week 1. But just like we talked about with Tampa, Colin, the expectations can really put a significant amount of pressure on a team. And the last time the Browns had to deal with any type of expectations, it killed them. It hurt Baker. It every loss was like the end of the world, and it ended poorly. So how they're going to deal with now being a successful team and dealing with a quarterback who's emerging, the staff has been together. There's a lot expected from these guys, and if it goes south a little bit early, how are they going to deal with that adversity? That to me is the challenge Cleveland faces.
By the way, when the schedule came out as a coach, what did you look for?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily matchups as much as it was, are we on the West Coast? We're an East Coast team. Are we on the West Coast? Do we have back-to-back West Coast games, or are they every other week? Do we want to go out 1 day early, 2 days early? How many games do we have on Monday night or Thursday night because you had to adjust the schedule, for the shortened week or the lengthened week, games that fell on holidays because you wanted to make sure that you were prepared, but you had to account for, the human element and make sure you were addressing that as well. So there was tons of nuts and bolts aspects to it. And if you did have those short weeks, you had to account for some of that in the off season and try to prepare a little bit in advance. And I'm not saying you can get ready for a game late in the season that's on a Thursday in the preseason, but you can put some things in the bank that you can draw on in those short weeks. So it's a long-term, short-term prep type look.
All right, I've said I don't like the way the Raiders are going. You have been very pro Gruden. What did you make of the Raiders schedule?
I think the NFL can control people sometimes. They know some of the issues that teams have, and then they schedule accordingly. Here's another rough end of the season for the Raiders. So, look, It's Kansas City, it's the Browns, Denver. We'll have to see where they are, but we know they'll be good defensively. Colts. Then the Colts and the Chargers. It's rough, and he's got to get this fixed. He's got to change the narrative of not being able to win late. And you've talked about it. This is year 4 now. It's got to be fixed. It's got to be fixed, but it's rough at the end there for him.
Yeah. Good seeing you, Coach. Eric Mangini, thanks for coming on.
All right. Good seeing you, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.